On May 20, 2025, President Donald Trump unveiled the ambitious $175 billion Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative, a comprehensive program designed to bolster the United States defense against advanced missile threats. The announcement took place in the Oval Office, where Trump was flanked by key defense officials including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Space Force General Michael Guetlein, whom Trump appointed to lead the initiative. The initiative aims to fulfill a vision first proposed by President Ronald Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI) in the 1980s, which sought to protect the U.S. from missile attacks but was never fully realized. Key components of the Golden Dome Initiative. The Golden Dome Initiative is intended to create a multi-layered missile defense system that integrates cutting-edge technologies to detect, track, and neutralize incoming missile threats across multiple stages of an attack. This includes capabilities to intercept missiles before launch, during their initial flight midcourse, and in the terminal phase. General Guetlein emphasized the need for rapid development and integration of various technologies, comparing the scale of the initiative to the Manhattan Project due to its complexity and the national mobilization required. Key components of the Golden Dome Initiative include: 1. Space-based sensors and interceptors. The program intends to deploy advanced space-based technologies to detect missile launches and intercept threats in their early stages. 2. Ground-based systems. The initiative will also enhance existing ground-based missile defense systems to complement the new space capabilities. 3. Advanced command and control networks. These networks will facilitate real-time data sharing and coordination among various defense agencies to ensure a swift response to threats. Funding and political considerations. The proposed budget for Golden Dome includes an initial down payment of $25 billion. Part of a broader Republican legislative effort to increase Pentagon funding by $150 billion for fiscal year 2025. While Republican lawmakers have largely supported the initiative, some Democratic lawmakers have expressed significant concerns over the program's costs and the potential for escalating global arms races, particularly given rising tensions with countries like China and Russia. The Congressional Budget Office has warned that the costs associated with the space-based components of Golden Dome could reach as high as $542 billion over the next 2 decades. This has raised alarms among critics who fear that such expenditures could detract from other pressing national security needs. Development timeline and challenges. Despite President Trump's ambitious timeline stating that the initiative would be operational by the end of his term in 2029, U.S. officials have indicated that initial capabilities may become available sooner. However, the program is still in its conceptual stage, with defense officials working to finalize an initial capabilities document outlining the necessary requirements for Golden Dome. The complexities of integrating various defense agencies and overcoming bureaucratic hurdles associated with large-scale defense projects present significant challenges. Congressional and global reactions. The Golden Dome Initiative has drawn mixed reactions both domestically and internationally. While Canada has expressed interest in collaborating with the U.S. on the project, Russia and China have condemned the initiative. Both nations argue that it poses a significant threat and could lead to an arms race in space, warning that it may destabilize the international security landscape. In a joint statement earlier this month, Russia and China labeled the Golden Dome program as deeply destabilizing, asserting that it would turn outer space into a battleground for armed conflict. This sentiment reflects concerns that the U.S. initiative may prompt other nations to accelerate their own military capabilities in space. Summary of key points. 1. Leadership and vision. General Michael Guetlein has been appointed to lead the program, focusing on rapid development and integration of defense technologies. 2. Funding and legislative challenges. The initiative seeks $175 billion in funding, facing opposition from some lawmakers who question the project's financial implications. 3. Technological ambitions. Golden Dome aims to deploy advanced missile defense technologies, including space-based systems, to intercept various missile types. 4. Geopolitical implications. the initiative has sparked global concerns over potential destabilization and an arms race, particularly with adversarial nations. In conclusion, the Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative represents one of the most ambitious defense projects in U.S. history. While it aims to address evolving missile threats, it faces significant political, economic, and diplomatic hurdles ahead. The success of the initiative will depend on effective coordination among various defense agencies, securing necessary funding, and navigating the geopolitical landscape shaped by the reactions of other nations. As the initiative progresses, its implications for national security and international relations will continue to unfold. The $175 billion Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative announced by President Donald Trump aims to create a comprehensive defense system against advanced missile threats. While the initiative is framed as a necessary advancement in national security, several counterintuitive aspects emerge from the context and implications of this announcement. 1. Historical parallels with SDI. The Golden Dome Initiative draws a direct line to the Strategic Defense Initiative SDI proposed by President Reagan in the 1980s. The SDI was criticized for its ambitious goals and technological challenges, ultimately failing to materialize as intended. The counterintuitive notion here is that despite the technological advancements since the 1980s, the challenges associated with missile defense systems remain remarkably similar. The expectation that a renewed effort, even with a significantly larger budget, will yield different results contradicts historical lessons. 2. Overestimation of technological readiness. Trump's assertion that the Golden Dome will utilize next-generation technologies implies a readiness and effectiveness that may not be substantiated by current capabilities. The complexity of integrating space-based sensors, interceptors, and advanced command and control systems suggests that operational readiness by 2029 is overly optimistic. The counterintuitive idea is that despite advancements in technology, the actual deployment and operational effectiveness of such systems often lag behind projections due to unforeseen technical and bureaucratic challenges. 3. Funding dynamics and political opposition. The initiative's proposed budget includes a substantial initial down payment. Yet it faces significant opposition from Democratic lawmakers who view it as a financial burden. This creates an interesting contradiction. While the initiative is framed as essential for national security, the political debate suggests that it may not be prioritized in a divided Congress. The expectation that such a large-scale program can garner bipartisan support in a contentious political environment is counterintuitive, especially given historical resistance to military spending increases. 4. Global arms race concerns. The initiative has prompted concerns from Russia and China, which view it as a destabilizing factor in global security. The counterintuitive aspect is that while the U.S. aims to enhance its defensive capabilities, such initiatives may inadvertently trigger an arms race, leading to increased global insecurity. This scenario challenges the assumption that enhancing defense capabilities will lead to greater security. Instead, it may provoke adversaries to escalate their military developments. 5. Integration challenges. General Michael Guetlein's comparison of the Golden Dome Initiative to the Manhattan Project highlights the scale of mobilization required. However, the counterintuitive issue is that large-scale military projects often face significant integration and bureaucratic challenges that can hinder progress and efficiency. The assumption that a high level of coordination can be achieved quickly overlooks the entrenched bureaucracies and interagency rivalries that typically complicate defense initiatives. 6. Public perception of space-based defense. The notion that placing weapons in space can provide greater security is counterintuitive given the historical context of space as a domain for peaceful exploration rather than militarization. As nations like China and Russia develop their own space capabilities, the idea that the U.S. can unilaterally dominate this arena is questionable. It raises ethical and strategic concerns about the militarization of space and its implications for international relations. 7. Economic implications for defense industry. While proponents argue that the Golden Dome Initiative will boost the defense industry, the broader economic implications may be more complex. The massive investment required could divert funds from other critical areas of national importance such as education or infrastructure. This raises the counterintuitive question of whether prioritizing defense spending in this manner truly enhances national security or merely strengthens specific sectors of the economy at the expense of holistic national well-being. 8. Expectations versus reality of missile threats. The initiative is designed to counter advanced missile threats, yet there is often a mismatch between perceived threats and actual risks. The counterintuitive element here is that while nations may develop advanced missile technologies, the likelihood of their actual use in conflict scenarios may be lower than anticipated. This disconnect between threat perception and strategic response could lead to over-preparation for scenarios that are less probable. In conclusion, the Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative presents numerous counterintuitive elements related to historical precedents, technological readiness, political dynamics, global security implications, and the integration of complex defense systems. These aspects highlight the complexities of national security strategy in an increasingly interconnected and contentious global environment. The $175 billion Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative announced by President Donald Trump on May 20, 2025 represents a significant shift in U.S. defense policy aiming to create a comprehensive defense system against advanced missile threats. While the initiative has garnered considerable attention, certain aspects may be overlooked but are critical for understanding its implications. 1. Integration of space-based technology. One of the most significant but potentially overlooked components of the Golden Dome Initiative is its focus on space-based technology. The program aims to integrate space-based sensors and interceptors, marking a substantial evolution in missile defense strategy. Historically, missile defense systems have primarily relied on ground-based assets. The shift to space-based systems illustrates a recognition that adversaries are developing advanced capabilities such as hypersonic missiles and anti-satellite weapons. The ability to intercept threats in space could provide the U.S. a critical advantage, but it also raises concerns about the militarization of space, which could lead to escalated tensions with nations like Russia and China, who have already expressed alarm over this aspect of the initiative. 2. Historical context and comparisons. The initiative draws parallels to the 1980s Strategic Defense Initiative (SDI) proposed by President Reagan, which was intended to protect the U.S. from missile attacks but faced technical and political challenges that prevented its full realization. By invoking the SDI, Trump is framing Golden Dome not only as a modern solution to contemporary threats but also as a historical continuation of U.S. defense policy. This historical context is significant as it underscores the cyclical nature of defense initiatives and the lessons learned from past experiences. However, the feasibility of achieving the ambitious goals set forth in the Golden Dome Initiative remains to be seen, and skepticism around its efficacy mirrors the criticisms faced by the SDI. 3. Funding and legislative challenges. The proposed budget includes an initial down payment of $25 billion as part of a larger Republican legislative effort to increase Pentagon funding by $150 billion in fiscal year 2025. This substantial financial commitment raises questions about budget allocation and the potential impact on other defense priorities. While the Republicans advocate for increased military spending, Democratic lawmakers have voiced concerns over the exorbitant costs of the Golden Dome Initiative and its implications for global arms races. The political landscape surrounding defense funding is complex, and the outcome of legislative negotiations will significantly influence the initiative's success or failure. 4. Geopolitical implications and reactions. Global reactions to the Golden Dome Initiative have been mixed, with Canada expressing interest in collaboration while Russia and China have condemned the plan as destabilizing. The initiative's focus on space-based capabilities is likely to provoke a response from these nations, who are already developing their own advanced missile systems and countermeasures. The potential for an arms race in space is not merely speculative. It represents a tangible risk that could reshape international security dynamics. Understanding these geopolitical implications is crucial as they will affect U.S. foreign relations and military strategies for years to come. 5. Leadership and management challenges. The appointment of General Michael Guetlein to lead the Golden Dome initiative is another critical aspect that may not receive the attention it warrants. Guetlein's background in missile warning technology and defense procurement is impressive, however. He faces considerable challenges in managing the integration of various defense agencies and overcoming bureaucratic hurdles. The complexity of the initiative requires a level of coordination comparable to the Manhattan Project, and the organizational culture within the Pentagon will need to adapt to facilitate this integration. The success of the Golden Dome initiative hinges not only on technological advancements but also on effective leadership and management strategies. 6. Technological ambitions and realism. While the initiative aims to deploy next-generation technologies, there is skepticism regarding the timeline and feasibility of achieving operational capabilities by 2029. The Pentagon is still finalizing an initial capabilities document, and the program is currently in the conceptual stage. The ambitious timeline may not align with the realities of defense procurement and development, which are often fraught with delays and budget overruns. Acknowledging this disconnect between ambition and reality is essential for stakeholders to set realistic expectations and allocate resources effectively. Conclusion. The Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative represents a pivotal moment in U.S. defense strategy with far-reaching implications for national security, international relations, and defense policy. While discussions often focus on funding and geopolitical reactions, the integration of technology leadership challenges, historical context, and the realism of operational timelines are equally significant. Recognizing these overlooked aspects will provide a more comprehensive understanding of the initiative's potential impact and the complexities involved in its implementation. As the world watches how the U.S. navigates these challenges, the outcome of the Golden Dome initiative could redefine the landscape of missile defense for years to come. 1. Leadership and vision. The appointment of Space Force General Michael Guetlein to oversee the Golden Dome initiative highlights the strategic importance of strong leadership in developing complex defense systems. Guetlein's background in missile warning technology and defense procurement positions him as a key figure in the project's success. His comparison of the initiative's scale to the Manhattan Project emphasizes the need for unprecedented national mobilization and cross-agency collaboration, which will be crucial in addressing the technological and organizational challenges inherent in such a massive program. 2. Technological ambitions. The Golden Dome initiative aims to deploy advanced missile defense technologies, including space-based interceptors and multi-layered detection systems. This represents a significant evolution in military strategy, as it seeks to counter the advanced missile capabilities of adversaries such as China and Russia. The focus on integrating cutting-edge technologies and the ambition to create a comprehensive defense shield raises questions about feasibility, cost, and the potential for technological breakthroughs that could redefine defense capabilities. 3. Funding and legislative challenges. With an estimated cost of $175 billion, the Golden Dome initiative is subject to intense scrutiny and debate within Congress. The proposal includes an initial $25 billion down payment as part of a broader effort to increase Pentagon funding, but it faces opposition from Democratic lawmakers concerned about the fiscal implications and the potential for escalating global arms races. This political landscape will significantly influence the program's trajectory and raises broader questions about defense spending priorities and the balance between national security and economic considerations. For geopolitical implications, the initiative has sparked mixed global reactions, with nations like China and Russia condemning it as destabilizing and indicative of an arms race in space. Their warnings about the implications of militarizing space reflect a growing concern over the international security landscape and the potential for increased tensions. The interest expressed by allies such as Canada underscores the complexities of global defense collaborations, while the criticisms from adversarial nations highlight the need for diplomatic engagement and strategic discourse to mitigate risks associated with the initiative. This geopolitical context will play a critical role in shaping the future of missile defense strategies and international relations. 1. Strategic Defense Initiative SDI 1980s. Proposed by President Ronald Reagan in 1983, the Strategic Defense Initiative aimed to develop a missile defense system to protect the United States from nuclear missile attacks, particularly from the Soviet Union. Often referred to as Star Wars. The initiative sought to use ground-based and space-based systems to intercept and destroy incoming missiles. Although it generated significant controversy and was criticized for its technological feasibility and cost, it marked a significant shift in U.S. defense strategy during the Cold War. 2. THAAD Terminal High Altitude Area Defense 2000s. The THAAD system developed by Lockheed Martin is designed to intercept short, medium, and intermediate-range ballistic missiles during their terminal phase of flight. The program gained prominence in the 2000s, especially amid rising tensions with North Korea. Its deployment has been contentious, particularly in regions like South Korea, where it has drawn criticism and threats from North Korea, thereby escalating regional tensions. The THAAD system represents a modern approach to missile defense, integrating advanced radar and interceptors. 3. Aegis Ballistic Missile Defense BMD 2000s. The Aegis BMD system developed by the U.S. Navy is designed to detect, track, and intercept ballistic missiles using sea-based platforms. Initially deployed in the early 2000s, Aegis BMD has been a critical component of the U.S. missile defense strategy, particularly in Europe and Asia. The system has been involved in various international treaties and defense agreements, highlighting the geopolitical implications of missile defense initiatives. Its capabilities have been continually upgraded to counter evolving missile threats from nations like Iran and North Korea. The $175 billion Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative, announced by President Donald Trump in May 2025, is poised to redefine the landscape of U.S. national security and defense strategy as it seeks to establish a multi-layered missile defense system. As this initiative unfolds, its future implications will likely shape not only U.S. defense policies but also international relations and military strategies. Here are several key predictions and considerations for the future outlook of the Golden Dome Initiative. 1. Technological advancement and integration. The Golden Dome Initiative aims to integrate cutting-edge technologies including space-based sensors and interceptors, ground-based systems, and advanced command and control networks. This ambitious integration will likely accelerate advancements in defense technologies, fostering innovations that may spill over into civilian applications. We can expect increased collaboration between the defense industry and tech companies as new technologies such as artificial intelligence and machine learning will play significant roles in enhancing missile detection and interception capabilities. 2. Operational timeline and challenges. While Trump has asserted that the Golden Dome would be operational by 2029, the reality may be more complex. Developing such an intricate system will inevitably face bureaucratic and technical challenges. Initial capabilities may emerge sooner, but full operational status could extend beyond 2029. Continuous testing and adaptation will be necessary as evolving missile threats from adversaries like China and Russia will require the system to remain agile and responsive to new technological developments. 3. Budgetary implications. The financial implications of the Golden Dome Initiative are substantial. With an estimated initial budget of $175 billion, the project may strain defense budgets and prompt debates within Congress about military spending priorities. As the program progresses, increased scrutiny over costs may lead to funding adjustments or reallocation from other defense initiatives. Furthermore, if the initiative fails to deliver expected results, it could result in calls for accountability and reassessment of U.S. defense spending strategies. 4. Geopolitical dynamics and arms race concerns. The Golden Dome initiative has already elicited mixed reactions globally, with nations like Russia and China expressing concerns that it could destabilize international security. As the U.S. enhances its missile defense capabilities, adversarial nations may respond by accelerating their own military advancements, potentially leading to an arms race in space and missile technology. This development could further complicate diplomatic relations and heighten tensions, particularly in regions where missile threats are already a concern. 5. Strengthening alliances and partnerships. The initiative may lead to stronger defense partnerships with allies, particularly those in North America and Europe. Canada's interest in collaborating on the project suggests that the U.S. could leverage the Golden Dome initiative to bolster regional security frameworks. This collaborative approach may prompt other nations to consider similar investments in missile defense, leading to a more integrated approach to collective security against shared threats. 6. Enhanced space military operations. The integration of space-based systems into missile defense marks a significant shift in military operations. The U.S. could see an increased focus on military operations in space, including the deployment of space-based interceptors. This shift may prompt discussions about the militarization of space and the establishment of protocols to ensure responsible use of outer space. International treaties governing space may need to be revisited or newly established to address the challenges posed by space-based military capabilities. 7. Evolving threat landscape. As missile technology continues to advance, the nature of threats faced by the U.S. will evolve. The Golden Dome initiative will need to remain adaptable to address not only traditional ballistic missiles but also newer threats such as hypersonic weapons and advanced drones. Continuous intelligence assessments and technological upgrades will be necessary to ensure the initiative effectively counteracts emerging threats. 8. Domestic political dynamics. Domestically, the Golden Dome initiative may become a contentious political issue. As costs rise and the initiative progresses, debates over its effectiveness and financial feasibility could emerge, particularly among Democratic lawmakers who have voiced concerns about spending. The political landscape in the U.S. will likely play a crucial role in shaping the initiative's future, influencing funding decisions and strategic priorities. Conclusion. The Golden Dome Missile Defense Initiative represents a significant pivot in U.S. defense strategy with far-reaching implications for national security, international relations, and technological advancement. As the initiative unfolds, its success will depend on overcoming technical, political, and financial challenges while navigating a complex geopolitical landscape. The next few years will be critical in determining whether the Golden Dome can fulfill its ambitious goals and reshape the future of missile defense.